Karamihan ng worst Filipinos think na ang finish line is earning 6 figures a month. Pero I've coached dozens who hit that number and still feel lost with money. Income alone doesn't mean progress. You can earn well, invest here and there, and still have no idea if your money will actually last. Ako pala si Jay, financial coach based here in Dubai, and I help overseas Filipinos achieve financial clarity so that they can retire before 60. Kung yan din ang goal mo, you can apply for coaching through the link below or scan the QR code on the screen. So sa video na to, I'll walk you through the early retirement blueprint, which is the exact model I use with my clients to help them connect the dots, organize their money, and build a plan that runs by itself. So kung isa kang overseas Filipino who earns well pero you're still wondering if you're on track to retire young and happy, then stay with me and let's build your blueprint together. So building wealth is a journey. Para ka lang umaakyat ng bundok. So isipin yung bundok yan. At ito yung path na tatahakin mo. Ito yung S, F, F. Dami, no? Yung first stage is itong survival stage. You're earning well pero you're still living paycheck to paycheck. And I think most of us start from here. Actually, it's a good place to start pero not a great place to stay. And I'm assuming na nalampasan mo na tong stage na to. Yung next is security. Dito nakapag-build ka na ng emergency fund and tapos ka na rin sa pagbabayad ng mga credit cards mo. And you're starting to invest slowly. Yung next stage is what I call strength. Dito, yung systems mo are already stable and meron ka ng net worth that is growing. At solid na rin ang foundation mo pagdating sa yung finances. Kasi nabuild mo na yung mindset, habit, and discipline para makapag-save for the short term and invest for the future. So yung next stage is about flexibility. So sa stage na to, na-reach mo na yung coast fire. You can slow down or switch jobs without worry. You can go for a job na pwedeng mas mababa yung sweldo, pero you enjoy it and hindi siya ganun ka-stressful. Meron ka na ring flex fund na tinatawag ko. Para you have the option for some sabbaticals and siguro yung mga mini retirements without sacrificing ang iyong retirement fund. At itong last stage is what many people are dreaming of. Freedom. You've reached full financial independence and work becomes optional. And sa karamihan ng mga overseas Filipinos na nakausap ko that are earning well, gusto nilang ma-achieve ang freedom at the soonest time possible para they're still young and they can still enjoy the money that they've built. So ito yung wealth path na sinasabi ko. And the way to climb this is through the early retirement blueprint. So let's start with the center of this blueprint, which is yung pinaka gustong ma-achieve ng mga overseas Filipinos who earn good money. For those clients who work with me, meron lang silang isang bagay na gusto talaga ma-achieve. And that is financial clarity so that they can retire before 60. Kung hindi ito yung goal mo, then probably I won't be able to help you out and you may stop the video na. And having financial clarity actually leads to 3 outcomes that they want. Una na dyan is certainty about where you stand and what comes next. Sumunod is to have control over their finances. And lastly is to have the confidence na yung pera nila will last and support retirement. Kaya lang may 3 uso na problema na kanilang na-experience. Una na dyan is being unsure. Hindi nila alam if yung pera ba nila will be enough or will it ever last. Pangalawa is scattered ang kanilang finances. So yung pera nila is all over the place. Multiple bank accounts, sobrang daming properties na hindi naman nagka-cash flow. And meron din sila mga stocks, mutual funds, REITs, lahat ng klase ng investments, tinry na nila. And even insurances na inoffer lang sa kanila for the sake of having one. Yung last nilang problema is that they feel overwhelmed. At dahil nga dami lang savings and investment accounts, it's so hard to manage and it becomes a stress for them. So para ma-address yung kanilang uncertainties or pagiging unsure about their finances, there has to be clarity. And para masabi natin na they've actually achieved itong clarity na tinatawag natin, meron tayong plan that they can trust. At para ma-address itong scattered na finances, then we need it to be organized. And for us to know na organized na kanilang finances, then yung kanilang money is in order. Meaning yung kanilang savings and investments are aligned specifically dun sa bagay na gusto nilang ma-achieve sa buhay. Para ma-address itong overwhelm is to implement a plan that money runs by itself. Automated na yung kanilang savings, investments, and hindi na nila masyadong pinoproblema yung kanilang asset allocation and hindi na sila masyadong may stress about monitoring their finances. And before I move on dun sa mga different tasks that they have to accomplish, I help them diagnose itong kanilang situation by thinking na this is like a traffic light. So if it's red, then it means na kailangan nilang itong trabahuhin or yung isang area ng kanilang finances is broken or baka totally it's missing. Yellow naman means it's okay, they're doing it pero it's inconsistent and they need to upgrade it. And then yung green means na totally perfect yung kanilang execution dito sa area na to ng kanilang finances. So the first thing they need to do in order to achieve financial clarity is to define life and money goals. Ito yung pinaka-importanting part dito sa entire program na to kasi without a clear and tangible vision, baliwala yung mga plans and systems na i-build natin kasi eventually, marireach mo yon at kung hindi yun aligned dun sa bagay na talagang gusto mo sa buhay, then you'll end up miserable and unhappy. So, yung iba din, pinapagawa ko nitong vision board. Ito nakikita nyo ito. Sa amin ito. Actually, hindi nga siya vision board eh. It's an action board para nakikita namin visually ni Mrs. yung aming mga goals sa buhay. Some of them na-reach na namin, yung iba hindi rin. And it's perfectly fine. What's important is, alam mo yung direction kung saan ka patungo. So one of my clients, whose name is Kat, nung trinay niya yung exercise for crafting her own vision, and sabi niya nga na, it feels like she can conquer the world. Bago ako mag-proceed with the client, is clear sa kanya kung ano ba yung definition ng success and ano yung bagay na gusto niya ma-achieve. Another one is si Bianca, wherein isa sa mga goals nila mag-asawa is magkaroon ng retirement home worth 10 million pesos. And nung kinlarify niya yung kanyang vision and also yung mga goals nila mag-asawa for the future and upon retirement, sinabi niya sa akin, worth it pa kaya tong dream namin na to and baka naman mamaya maging house poor kami. When you say house poor, ibig sabihin ang ganda ng bahay mo, probably you live in a mansion or kung anong klase ng bahay na you dream of. Kaya lang, wala kayong pera. Kasi most of the money is spent in building your dream house. Kaya maganda talaga tong sessions na to kasi nga nakikita namin if ito ba yung pinaka-gusto nilang ma-achieve sa buhay nila. So i-check mo ngayon tong area nito ng buhay mo. Meron ka bang clear na vision or a clearly defined life and money goals? Kung wala, then it's a red. Kung meron naman pero baka kailangan pa i-refine, then most likely it's a yellow. And kung talagang clear ang iyong vision, alam mo yung gagawin mo, then it has to be green. Now, for most of my clients, is a yellow. Meron na silang idea about the future, pero hindi pa rin siya ganun ka-clear. And meron din na ilan na talagang wala. May pera sila, pero hindi nila alam kung ano ba yung purpose ng pera na yun. Pero for now, let's put it at yellow. So yung next step to achieve financial clarity is to do itong tinatawag ko na money health check. Dapat alam mo kung nasan ka ngayon financially. Kasi baka mamaya, you are investing sa properties pero hindi mo napapansin, ang dami mo na palang na-borrow na pera. And you're already over-leveraged. And if magkaroon ng mga susunod na market crash o kaya tumagal pa yung oversupply na issue, then pwedeng hindi mo masustain ang inyong mga property investment. Ganito actually nangyari sa isa kong client, si Rogie. No? Ang laki ng allocation niya sa kanyang mga condos kasi nagpapa-Airbnb siya eh. And nung ginawa namin itong financial health check niya, napansin niya na ang baba talaga ng kanyang cash holding. And sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo swerte mo kasi hindi ka nagkaroon ng emergency, hindi ka nagkaroon ng sakit for several years that you're working sa Saudi. And doon niya nakita na sobrang tight na nga ng kanyang cash flow kasi lahat ng pera niya is ini-invest niya sa properties and hindi siya diversified. So nakita niya yung risk of overconcentration and also yung potential risk na walang emergency fund can really impact his entire real estate portfolio if anything happens to him. So for most of the people who go for coaching, they think na healthy naman yung kanilang finances kasi nga nag-iipon sila, nagsisave, pero hindi nila nakita yung potential na impact nung isang area ng kanilang finances versus the other. And yung third one is to know your priorities. So sa part na to, chine-check namin kung ano yung mga urgent matters that they need to accomplish within the next 90 days. Para everything is aligned and clear sa kanilang dapat nilang gawin. Kasi yung karamihan ng mga tao, ang fina-follow nila na steps, yung mga tao na nandito na sa stages na to. Flexibility or freedom. Pero nandun pa lang sila sa security and building their strength. Kaya hindi applicable sa kanila yung bagay na ginagawa nila right now. And it's common, lalo na kung hindi mo naman talaga alam yung mga dapat mong gawin sa yung finances and you're just relying on YouTube pagdating sa information. At ganito mismo yung nangyari sa isang client ko na si Rose kasi kumuha silang pamilya ng 4 or 5 condo units and they were informed or advised ng kanilang ahente na pwede nilang i-flip ito after 5 years. Kaya lang, dahil nga with the issue with the oversupply right now, hindi nila yun kayang i-sustain long term. So what they decided is let go itong mga properties na to and mag-rebuild uli. Kaya yung priorities niya right now is to rebuild yung kanyang finances and hindi muna mag-focus masyado sa investing. Unahin muna ang emergency fund, building the right mindset around money, and never rush things when it comes to making financial decisions. Sa iba, alam mo ba yung priorities mo? And karamihan nga ng mga lumalapit sa akin pag first time pa lang na magkakaroon ng financial coach, hindi talaga nila alam ano yung priorities nila. And may ginagaya lang sila ng mga ibang tao, probably yung office mate nila, yung kaibigan nila, or someone dun sa circle nila na sinasabi na ito yung dapat mong unahin. Naalala ko yung sinabi ni Morgan Housel sa kanyang book na kailangan alam mo yung game na nilalaro mo pagdating sa finances kasi not everyone is playing the same game. Pwedeng yung advice na kukuha mo is from someone na nagte-trade actively sa stock market and hindi siya fit sa iyong situation na ang approach mo should be buy and hold for the long term and pag in-apply mo yung kanyang tips or yung kanyang strategy, you'll definitely lose money. Kaya you need to know what your priorities are before you start making any investments. Kung hindi mo makukuha tong clarity na to, then you are bound to fail. Now, moving on dito sa organized part, the first thing that we need to do is to simplify your accounts. The fewer your accounts, the better kasi mas madali siyang i-maintain later on. Kaya ang ginagawa ko sa clients ko talaga is tinatanong ko, bakit ka may 5 digital banks? What is the purpose of this? And ina-align ko siya pabalik doon sa kanilang life goals na minention early on dun sa aming program. Perfect example dito yung clients ko na sila Dayan and Kiko kasi ang dami nilang mga accounts sa Hong Kong. Meron pa sila mga foreign currencies na hinuhold. Japanese yen, Hong Kong dollars, and even iba't iba pang currencies. At meron din silang 500,000 Hong Kong dollars na physical cash. Kaya grabe sabi ko, anong plano nyo dyan, di ba? Sayang naman, natatalo kayo sa inflation. And I suggested na they really have to simplify yung kanilang mga bank accounts para madali natin ma-automate later on. Kaya maganda na yung bank na kukunin mo has itong sub-savings feature. And mas maganda rin na this is a high-yield savings account para sumasabay siya sa inflation. And doon naman sa mga brokerage accounts na meron ka, maganda rin na meron ka lang isang account that you trust and it also has that same feature of sub-savings accounts. So, nandun yung retirement fund mo, nandun yung college fund ng anak mo. Pwede rin na nandun din yung portion of your emergency fund. Kasi there are cases, lalo na pag mga overseas Filipinos na pag nagkaroon ng, let's say, gera sa isang country, fini-freeze nung country na yon yung banks and baka mahirap kunin yung pera. Ang tawag doon is yung ABC rule. If you're from country A and you're working in country B, then your money has to be in country C. So, it's a different topic pero maganda na you have emergency money located offshore. And pwede mo rin gawin yon when you have a brokerage account. So, karamihan nung nakausap ko, ang gulo. Masakit sa ulo yung pagmamanage ng kanilang mga accounts. Kaya isa ito sa mga bagay na medyo matagal ayusin para sa mga clients. So, yung susunod na task in order to organize your finances is to build safety nets. Ano ibig sabihin ko ng safety nets? Well, ito yung emergency fund mo and insurance. Kaya ko ito nilagay dito, it's because pag nagkaroon ka ng emergency and kunyari nagkaroon ka rin ng malubhang sakit, talagang guguho yung finances mo and magkakagulo-gulo siya. Yung accounts mo na intended for your retirement, baka magamit mo yan for a certain family emergency. Personally, ito rin naging problema ko in the past kasi lahat ng pera ko naka-invest. Wala akong insurance, wala akong emergency fund. Kaya nung kasakit yung tatay ko, I had to sell some of my investments sa Talos para lang sa kanya medical bills. And yun nga, nalubog pa kami sa utang. Kaya itong safety net is so important pagdating sa pag-organize na yung finances. And ito yung sininyo, no, yung isa ko ring client. Kung hindi namin chinek yung kanyang insurances, hindi niya malalaman na ang kanyang critical illness is only worth 300,000 pesos, which is sobrang baba. Kasi kung sakali man na magkaroon siya ng sakit in the future at hindi niya dinagdagan yung kanyang critical illness coverage, then a portion of the money na gagamitin niya for surgery or for treatment, manggagaling sa kanyang investments. Kaya this is such an important thing that we have to check pagdating sa pag-organize ng finances. Kasi otherwise, pwedeng mag-collapse talaga yung binild natin over those years. Now, for most of the clients na nakausap ko, meron na silang insurance. And kaya lang, it's always not enough. They're always underinsured. Kaya it's a yellow. Now, the last step in order to address itong scattered na finances is to structure your cash flow. Dito yung allocations mo are clear pagdating sa spending, saving, and investing. Kasi there is a risk na baka mamaya magamit mo yung pera na intended for, let's say, for the college of your child and gamitin mo for your business. Kasi napansin ko rin na may ibang mga clients na ang kanilang cash is nasa isang fund lang and hindi nila nakikita kung saan ba pupunta yung mga pera na to. Kaya they think na, ang dami kong pera. Pero when we list down yung kanilang financial goals, doon nila nakikita na okay, hindi pala enough na ma-reach itong certain financial goal na to. Kasi nga, we need the money now. For example, we will buy a new villa. In the next 6 years, kailangan din namin magpaaral ng anak namin for college. Ang perfect example dito is yung client ko na si Jaja. Kasi she has a thriving business built around sa kanyang strength and passion. And dahil magaling siya sa pag-handle ng kanyang finances, marami siyang nasisave. Nung nag-meet kami, ang laki ng kanyang cash savings. Kaya lang hindi naging clear sa akin kung ano yung purpose ng kanyang mga savings. And paano yung flow ng kanyang money from her business going to her personal account. So dito, diniscuss ko sa kanya yung importance na pagsisegregate ng kanyang investments and savings para sa kids' education, sa kanyang retirement, sa dream nila na Siargao lot, and sa pagbili din ng bagong boat ng kanyang husband, and also sa expansion ng kanyang business. Kaya structuring your cash flow is such an important exercise para talaga malaman mo kung saan dapat mapunta yung pera mo today and later on. Minsan din napapansin ko nga na yung nagiging focus is sobrang for the future. Well, in fact, meron tayong mga short-term and medium-term goals na kailangan pang i-address. And dahil nga nilalagay sa mas higher risk na investment, yung pera na intended for the future, pag nangailangan sila ng pera in the present, there's a chance na baka mabawasan yung kanilang kapital kasi nga nakalagay yung pera nila sa isang high risk na investment. So, clear na yung financial goals and sa mo gustong pumunta. Organized na rin ng yung finances. Kaya lang kung hindi mo ma-implement ng tama and consistently ang inyong action plan, then baliwala yung first 2 steps. So the first step in order to make sure that money runs by itself and ma-implement natin itong plan sustainably is to design a portfolio na aligned sa iyong unique na risk profile. Kasi iba-iba tayo ng timeline, ng goals, and also yung nature natin when it comes to taking in risk. Ang very common na kinukuha ng karamihan is yung psychological assessment pagdating sa risk profiling. Pero what I do is a bit different. I measure the client based on 3 things, yung kanilang need, capability, and psychology when it comes to taking in risk. So, unique yon sa bawat isa and it will also help us in understanding ano ba yung tamang allocation pagdating sa kanilang i-build na portfolio. And also, itong portfolio that we design is evidence-based. Kumbaga, we backtest this and tinitingnan ko kung ano ba talaga yung ideal return na pwedeng ma-reach ng client based dun sa kanyang allocation. And the good thing in using global ETFs is meron sobrang daming data that we can use to gain confidence na itong portfolio na to, itong allocation ng client is something that's sustainable and a better chance of reaching an ideal rate of return based on the risk that they can take. Also, chine-check din namin if meron ba mga possible na tax implications yung kanilang portfolio na baka hindi sila aware. And although hindi ako tax advisor, pero it's common knowledge para sa mga global investors na nag-i-invest sa mga global ETFs. And ang perfect example ko dyan is si Joey kasi when he approached me, meron siyang around $3 million na stock portfolio sa kanyang brokerage account. Kaya lang unfortunately, lahat ito ay naka-base sa US. Kaya in-inform ko siya immediately na there is a risk na magbayad ng around 64 million pesos na US estate tax yung kanyang family the moment na mawala siya and yung kanyang investment is still there sa US. And isa ito actually sa mga proudest moments ko as a coach kasi nakatulong ako na maiwasan ni Joey yung gantong klase ng liability or ng expense sa kanyang portfolio na malaking bagay ito dahil yung 64 million na yun can be enjoyed by his family pag nawala na siya. Kaya very important ang iyong portfolio is designed for global investing kasi it gives you that diversification that you will need if anything happens sa isang geography kung saan ka man naka-invest. This is very common sa mga overseas Filipinos na ang investments is nasa Pilipinas lang. Stock market sa Pinas who is currently down for the last 10 years and very heavy sa mga properties lalo na sa panahon ngayon na may oversupply. Kaya very at risk yung kanilang portfolio. So for most of them, meron man silang portfolio pero kailangan pa rin i-improve yung allocation and also align it dun sa kanilang goals. And the next part para maging smooth ang ating implementation is to build systems. So yung bawat area ng yung finances, may kanya-kanyang system yan. May system ka for investing, saving, and maybe paying off debt as well kung kinakailangan. And favorite quote ko talaga tong kay James Clear na we don't fall to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. And totoo to. Kasi lahat naman ng Overs Filipino na kausap ko, ang goal is umunlad talagang kailang buhay. And I think lahat naman tayo ganun, di ba? Pero kung wala tayong systems in place, sobrang hirap ma-achieve nitong goals na to kasi nga, tao lang tayo, we fall for many distractions and temptations as well. Kaya nahihirapan tayong maging consistent sa ating mga gustong gawin. Iba ko nakausap, meron ng mga automations na ginagawa. Yung kanina sila, Diane and Kiko, maganda yung automation na ginagawa nila for their tracking ng kanilang expenses. Kasi pag nag-spend sila, automatically napupunta sa kanyang Google Sheets. Ang galing, hindi ko pa nga nagagawa yun. Pero may mga ganyan talaga na mga clients tayo nakausap. So ito naman si Raymond is a client ko sa Qatar. And nakapag-build kami ng isang system that will help him fund his brokerage account in a low-cost way. So from his Qatar bank, didiretso sa bangko niya sa Pilipinas. And then from the bank from the Philippines, pupunta sa Wise. And then sa Wise naman, doon niya napafund yung kanyang account. Kasi if didiretso siya from his Qatar na bank, malaki yung fee. So, na-discover namin yung way na yun. Medyo mas maraming steps. Pero again, when it comes to fees, it's very important na we don't pay so much pagdating sa mga ganitong klase ng transactions. Now, for most of the people na kausap ko, ang kanilang systems is already set up na. Kaya, green na yan. Minsan, hindi ko na nga ito pinapakialaman kasi nga it already works for them. And ayokong i-reinvent yung wheel sa kanila. I just give them yung concept and then they have their own way of understanding it and making implementation so much easier for them. And yung last part is to make sure that the plan or the implementation is sustainable. We need to keep the plan working long-term as life changes. Dahil hindi naman fixed ang financial plan. Nagbabago-bago ang ating priorities as we grow older and we experience new things. Kaya dapat sustainable lang ating plan. Lalo na kung pag may mga moments na medyo busy tayo and hindi natin mabantayan ang ating portfolio. Gusto kong gamitin yung example dito is yung sa amin ni Mrs. Kasi meron kaming portfolio for retirement and also the education of our child. And ang portfolio namin is low maintenance pero high performance and it's easy to maintain our financial plan kasi nga I can focus on my business and also my family. And without doing any so much effort, kita mo, ang returns namin sa aming retirement fund is currently at 41.56%. Grabe. And also sa aming education fund for our son, it's at 19.68%. Ayokong ubusin yung oras ko sa pagbabantay ng charts and pag-check ng mga individual stocks. I always believe na ang best investment pa rin natin is ourselves, our skill set, ang ating business, ang ating career, and ang ating relationships as well. And sayang yung oras sa pagta-time ng market, at least try to beat the index or beat the stock market kasi yun yung uso sa mga Pilipino na nakikita ko online eh. Pero if you have a portfolio na madaling i-maintain, pag na-build mo na to, ang gagawin mo lang is mag-put ng money there until you reach that certain goal. Kasi based on historical data naman, yung mga tao na nag-actively nagpa-participate sa market by buying individual stocks, they tend to lose more money than those na buy and hold yung strategy, lalo na pag mga long term. Kaya ito yung gusto kong gawin ng mga clients ko as much as possible. Although, may iba pa rin ako na prefer na may konting active management or involvement sa kanilang funds. Pero I tell them na make sure na sustainable to sa'yo. Kasi kung hindi, na gagalawin mo pa yung portfolio mo, i-allocate mo pa every now and then, or i-rebalance mo pa manually, then may tendency talaga na tamarin ka pagka umabot sa point na ang dami mo nang ginagawa and baka hindi ka na rin makapag-invest consistently. So, make sure na yung portfolio na binibuild mo is something na talagang kaya mong i-sustain long term. Now, for most of the people na nakausap ko, pagdating sa sustainability, it's yellow. Kailangan nilang konting improvement para ma-manage nila yung kanilang portfolio more effectively. Alright, so i-zoom out natin ito kasi it will look like a 3D scan of your finances. What you want to do is to focus on the 3 important areas na you think urgent para sa'yo. Kaya maganda na color code ito. Ayan, so, at dahil iba-iba nga ang sitwasyon ng bawat tao, walang cookie cutter approach pagdating sa early retirement. Kaya nga personal finance, right? And by having this parang traffic light or by having this 3D scan of your finances, nakikita mo kung ano ba dito yung dapat mong pagpukusan. And early on, dito sa wealth path na to, or wala akong nilagay na number dahil iba-iba ang retirement number natin. Iba-ibang ating financial independence number. Pwedeng for someone, 300 million is more than enough. Yung iba, sakto lang. Yung iba naman, they can happily live on 15 million. And what's important is clear talaga sa'yo kung ano yung gusto mong ma-achieve sa buhay. And then we reverse engineer it so that we know that we are working on a plan that is aligned sa iyong sitwasyon. Ngayon, tignan mo to ha. Kung kaya natin ayusin yung 3 important things sa iyong finances in the next 90 days, ano kaya yung magiging biggest difference nito for you? That is exactly what I do sa aking coaching program. Kaya kung ready ka na to turn your reds and yellows into greens, apply for coaching using the link below or scan the QR code on the screen. So sana nakatulong tong video na to and I'll see you inside the call.